Roll call, please.
Mr. Benish?
Here.
Mr. Ernest?
Here.
Mrs. Ernest is absent. Mr. Jones?
Here.
Mr. Shoemaker?
Here.
Mr. Wiedemann?
Here.
Mr. McLaughlin?
Here.
Mr. Jones?
Here. Do we have any communications? Okay, pledge of allegiance, please. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Excusing of a board member, Susie texted Matt and I, so everybody knows. We gotta take a motion. Is there a motion?
Yeah, I'll excuse Susie from tonight's meeting.
Is there a second? Second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Benish?
Yes.
Mr. Ernest? Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Shoemaker?
Yes.
Mr. Wiedemann?
Approval of the agenda. Motion.
I'll make that motion to approve the agenda for the meeting.
Is there a second? Roll call, please.
Mr. Benish?
Yes.
Mr. Ernest?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Shoemaker?
Yes.
Mr. Wiedemann?
Yes.
Hearings and persons to address the board. Okay. Special presentations to the board. Okay, reports. Student board member report.
Hi, I'm Macy Rowley. I'm here every month. Review of current events. We've held 4 official meetings since our last report. We were not able to volunteer at the Community Shepherd's Food Pantry on February 6th, but we look forward to being able to in March. Our Strawberry End fundraiser ends today, so Allison, contact Allison if you need any
Last minute.
Yeah. And we're looking forward to our school-wide Easter egg hunt in April. As of January 31st, 2026, Student Council's checking account balance was $2,741.13. We don't have any other fundraisers planned for this school year. An open issue, SUCO would like to focus on a school improvement project still with the student body and student incentives this year. Do you have any questions or communications that I can take back to the student council?
Thank you, Mason.
Yeah, thank you.
Board reports.
Oh, that's probably me.
Yeah.
Beans, I went to Legislative Issues Conference January 25th and 26th. I did give you handouts. The first one is LB 1038, and that's the governor's plan with one of the senators who sponsored the bill of how they want to finance education. We want to make sure that the big thing is they want to get property taxes down to a mill levy of 50 cents, if possible. Current range is from 32 cents to $1.05. So, reevaluating like ag land and commercial land and residential will all be revalued, and then that's their hope. And then for us, which was, we about 87% local property taxes.
Yes.
So somehow they're going to eliminate like 35–40% of our property tax collection and finance it with the state. Call me pessimistic, but anytime the state decides to do something, there's always going to be a lot of strings attached. And so anyway, it's great if that will happen. Property owners would be really pleased, but I think it's going to be at the risk of local control, and I'm sure that's going to happen. And who knows what the legislature will do down the line. They'll look at our school district and look at our per pupil cost. They might say, you guys need to do something, or else. I just don't know. But it is an idea being floated around and will be voted on, I'm sure. I don't know if it'll pass, but this is what the governor wants, so we will see. As far as the other things, there were 581 bills introduced. When I go down there that Saturday the 25th, Sunday the 25th, Friday is the last day that bills can be submitted to the legislature. So that's how many total bills, there's 581. NSAB goes through, and you can see in your sheet here if they give it a thumbs up or a thumbs down on the different bills. If there's not a thumbs up or thumbs down, it means they either want to know more information about it or they have no problem with it. So you know, I'm not going to read these to you. You can go through and read them yourself. Some things that they're looking at is there's a $471 million deficit in the state legislature this year. And one thing I do know is the governor's already said he's going to cut back on special ed aid. So we'll be expecting that down the line. At least $7 million, maybe more. And there's going to be a cap on it. Like this year, it's probably the most we'll ever get special ed. And then it's going to drop like 2% a year. That's the plan anyway. That's the governor's plan. So we'll see. And one of the proposals is to make sure the base salary of all Nebraska certified teachers is at least $50,000. Okay, some of these are proposed, a lot of them don't make it out of committee. Another one is wanting to have 7th and 8th graders compete in varsity high school sports if there's not enough enrollment in the high school. I have a feeling that's never going to make it in Nebraska, but it's been one there. Another thing is if you have a bond issue, at least a majority or half of the voters in that district will have to vote that day. And the speaker said, in Nebraska, in like the last 5 or 10 years, bond issues, there's never been more than 50% people voting for bond issues. So I guess that's just another way of making sure that bond issues can't be made. Another one was dealing with locker rooms, dealing with sexual orientation in locker rooms.
I think where people are getting caught up on that one is in sharing facilities, especially in small schools. They're like, you can't guarantee that it's a boys-only locker room or a girls-only locker room. So they're kind of reading by the letter of the law instead of knowing that schools have to share facilities, which is a problem.
Yeah, it is. Another one is, last year they passed a bill saying that K through 2 students could not be expelled or suspended out of school. Now they're saying you can't. This bill wouldn't change that. They can be removed from the school. So, because I think senators caught a lot of heat from local schools and administrators and parents probably saying, why is that kid in school when he did this to my kid? Or did this to a teacher? Another bill was to prohibit ICE enforcement. I'm sure that's not going to fly, but it was there. Another one is adding 2 classes to curriculum. One is the history of communism, and one is the standards of human embryology, whatever that. Would you tell me what that is? Embryology?
Embryology, study of human embryos, pregnancy.
Some senator wants to require that study in school. But I know, like the history of communism, that's part of the standards. I think in social studies they talk about different political. So it is already taught. So, but then again, a lot of these bills never make it out of committee, never make it to the full floor for voting. But then again, that's got a chance to talk with Senator Stroman, and the big thing we talked with him is, please vote against any unfunded mandate. And he said he really tries to do that, not vote for unfunded mandates. So, there it is. Any questions? You have this is good, at least you'll know what some, and this isn't all the bills, but this is most of them dealing with education.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I think we learned a lot.
Yeah, I always learn one.
Yeah, you have to teach about the benefits and advantages of representative government and the dangers and fallacies of communism and Nazism in schools.
That's what the bill.
So that's, I mean, that's what's currently on, like just the dangers of other types of government.
Nazism, socialism, so they teach about socialism.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah,
the bill then.
like that it's already being taught somewhat, but why would you need a whole curriculum? Anyway.
Thank you. Any other board reports? Okay, we'll move on to principal's report.
Excuse me if I struggle some. I'm better, but not quite there. FFA had its labor auction and feed on the 17th of January. The event went well. And thank you to Ms. Van and Mrs. Rushman and all the members of the FFA chapter for their efforts. Cheyenne County Spelling Bee was held on January 20th. Congratulations to Ms. Shoemaker and our local winners for their work in that contest. We were one of the schools that oversaw running the MAC High School Tournament on Thursday the 22nd and Saturday the 24th in Bridgeport. I want to thank everybody who helped on those 2 days to help us make that tournament go off fairly quickly. Boys High School basketball finished second in the MAC tournament. The girls went 1-1. Congratulations to both teams and their coaches. MAC Music was held at WNCC in Scotts Bluff. Thanks to Mr. Oakes and the band students for their good showing. That was on the 26th of January.
Yes. Long time of rehearsals for 20 minutes worth of a program, but it was good.
Macy Raleigh went to interview for a state FFA degree in Alliance on the 28th. Macy was selected for her state degree, and she will receive that state at the state convention in March, at the end of March. The FFA attended the CDE contest in Gordon, Rushville on Wednesday, February 4th. We had parent-teacher conferences on Thursday, February 5th. I was mainly in the elementary, junior high building. Those conferences were well attended. I know we had some up here. I don't have the numbers just yet on how many showed up. And then Mrs. Rathman and myself have attended several literacy information sessions, gathering information for the new literacy requirements that are coming down the pipe from NDE. I know it doesn't seem like much, but it's been a pretty busy month.
Thank you. Superintendent's report?
And under vision, culture, and instructional leadership, just talking a lot about literacy, the impact of the state recommendations to schools as far as training and evaluating programs. It's been important to know and discuss the future of education, make Leyton an excellent district each and every year for our kids. We have around 9 students coming from preschool to kindergarten next year that are going to be ready to excel. These are a lot of 2-year preschool students, so they should be able to enter our kindergarten classroom knowing our expectations and knowing what's going on as far as that goes. And then there's 5 that we have pegged as hopefully returning for a second year of preschool. So 9's a great number for us, and as I was sitting in the bank today, I talked with Hannah over at the market, and she's like, when's preschool coming up, when's preschool? So, you know, there's people asking already about when we're going to be doing our preschool recruitment and kindergarten roundups, so those are going to be coming out very soon. As we look forward to next year, we need to start preschool recruiting very soon, just to fill that program to the best of our abilities. We've had really good success in early childhood, and we want that to catapult us into next year with a full class of preschool. That's kind of been our goal. Somewhere between 15 to 18 kids in the preschool is great. This year, I mean, it's insane. There's 2-3 girls in the preschool. So it's boy heavy. So hopefully we'll get some balancing out next year with some girls in there. But it is definitely boy heavy right now. Becky's right next door, so she gets the chance to see that on a daily basis. And it's started to preschool's kind of started to work now. And it took them a little while longer this year than it did last year for things to kind of get settled down. But you know, we're in a good spot with preschool, and we're gonna be very thankful that our kids are moving into kindergarten with the 9 of them. Instruction in both schools is going great. We've done a lot of work with IXL in both buildings, as well as AR reading. So Mr. Jones and the teachers have just taken these programs on, and we're proud that they're going well within our school. So the AR is just, you know, just reading for enjoyment, but also having a little carrot attached to it too. Like if you get so many points in your reading, you can get some incentives there. A couple of safety improvements were quoted out over the last month, including the icy areas outside of the high school and leveling the floor at the elementary site. If you've been to the elementary school lately, by Becky's room, again, sorry, there's a little dippy area there that's been dippy since I've worked there, but we're going to address it. And it covers basically a manhole, so we're going to level that out and make that a safe place to be. And then we haven't had any snow or ice this year to speak of, but we did quote out some stuff to make our walkways on the north side and the west side a little bit better for our patrons. Mr. Knoll and I are still working on the soft water project that keeps giving us fits. But we were able to train Mr. Knoll on descaling the tankless systems, so that's great. So we'll save a ton of labor or a ton in labor hours with him knowing how to do that. So basically that's the hot water system that you have to descale every twice a year here at the school. So he knows how to do it, so we won't have to outsource that anymore. And we're starting to do some work. Starting tomorrow, we're going to have some conversations about in-house transportation items that we could be doing, like inspections and basic vehicle oil changes. Mr. Wells at Gurley Diesel had made mention that this could be an area for us to look at. So we want to thank him for this opportunity for helping us navigate transportation and help looking out for us as far as the bottom line when it comes to our vehicles. The accounts of the district are in a great place. According to our monthly balance statements across the board, I think our staff's done an excellent job of being mindful of the resources, but keeping up with the high quality materials so our kids are excited to come to school. So this month, our computer science requirement class that Mrs. Hop teaches, she's got some new coding robots that are coming in. So we're hoping to spark some curiosity there and get our kids excited about that course specifically. So some good things coming with the robots. Can't wait to see how those go. Continue on focusing on staffing at both schools. Next month, we're going to be sending out letters of intent to return to all staff members. These are just ways for us to get a good idea of who's planning on coming back. So hopefully we'll keep everybody.
I'm sending those out tomorrow.
Yeah.
But they're due back next month.
Due back next month. The third one out tomorrow. But when I wrote this was probably last month, so I'm just joking. I wrote it Thursday, terrible. But it just gives us an idea of who's coming back. So we've had great people doing amazing work, and we hope to see them all back. Turnover is something that we've been fortunate to avoid the last couple of years. Just very few staff members for turnover, and that just tells me that people are like what we're doing at the school, and we hope to keep them going. Policy on the phones is something I want to visit with you guys about coming up at a future meeting so that our policy matches our practice. Although we've had a lot better year in terms of cell phones in the school buildings, we just need to adjust that to make sure that we're following the policy that's right for our school. So here's a good example. We'll have students that are caught with cell phones, and we'll confiscate them and then return them at the end of the day. So that's, they're supposed to keep them in their lockers, but I would say like almost all of them will have them on their person. So it's kind of that I think we're doing better. Jess, I don't know if you think we're doing better than we have been. It's just not, the policy is just not really working how, it's written. So if you want it in the lockers the entire time, we just haven't been able to experience a ton of success with that. But less inside classrooms than ever before, which is
Significantly less. They're not on them as much as before. Sneak it.
Yeah, so that's just one of the things, I just wanted you guys to know that we'd like to talk about, and make sure that our policy matches our practice. Yeah, it's just navigating those waters. We've kind of found that, although better, it's not exactly how the policy reads, so we just need to make that fit our practice. Difficult to see where things are heading with the legislature, but I sent out some stuff earlier this week last week, that seems like if we don't change anything, we'll be in a good spot next year. But if things change, like they drop from $1.05 to 50 cents, there could be a ton of different issues with rural schools. So I really worry about the state being able to do as much as they say they can do, without dipping into things that make our state great. And that was one thing on the governor's speech that I heard a lot of was, we have a made up budgetary, it's imaginative, it's not real. There's like $2 billion in accounts around that we could just dip into, and those are weird, those are weird practices to happen. So we want our state to be great and for people to come here and visit and do all those things, and sometimes that's, I don't know, it's interesting for sure. So just be careful and watch that legislative session, because it's going to hopefully not have a lot of fireworks. But Dave, I don't know, good.
That's anybody's ballgame.
Yeah.
What's gonna happen.
We'll be up in February for another one in Lincoln. I'm going to that one and then voting on some scholarship stuff. So it's just kind of killing two birds with one stone.
I think it's important that we just keep in contact with our senator.
And I haven't heard about the new dates for Sterling's teleconferences, but I heard that those are really good. So if you guys would,
That's one, right?
yeah, I think they've only had the one so
Yeah.
far. But I think it's a really good outreach tool for him. So I'm glad that he's, putting himself out there. Whether you agree with him or you don't, it's good to
At least
have
he's
it out there.
asking for contact with his patrons
Yeah, I
and
think
getting
that's
their
great.
feedback.
And he's been to one of our school board meetings, so I'm sure he'd want to come back as well. So, then below is my lead log for when the sickness hit me in January 16th. It was wonderful.
Thank you. All right, regular agenda discussion items, so no action made, just discussion.
So I went through and talked, we'll start with the first one, the scoreboards in Dalton and Gurley. So I went through and talked with every board member individually on the phone about all of these discussion items and how we'd like these things to go to committee or recommendation for the board. So I guess we'll start with if you don't mind, we'll start with the Dalton and Gurley scoreboards. We've had some discussions with community members on this one. We've had floor sponsorships for Janelle. This is the last year in the floor sponsorships. So we're at year 7 on floor sponsorships. Pepsi's on for another 3 years. But we've done pretty good at staying under the amount that the floor sponsors have used to cover the resurfacing of the floor every year. So we're wanting to get into a new scoreboard at the Dalton site. We've also taken a $1,000 donation from Bernice in her mom's trust, which was a very nice donation. I spoke with her at a basketball game, and she was totally fine with us moving scoreboards from Dalton to Gurley, and then potentially getting on with some sponsors to maybe get a new scoreboard in Dalton. We've been watching a lot of basketball games over the last couple weeks with some that have new scoreboards and ads and all those different things. And it's about time for our basketball and volleyball to have new scoreboards. The one in Gurley is unreadable most times, and this would be a.
You can't get the Christmas light bulbs to replace them. And
Can't
so,
replace them.
One of my initial thoughts was if we could move these down to Gurley, they would be very functional, and then you would have one on each end. So, because the current one in its position, if you're at the scorer's table, you cannot see the guest score. You have to literally stick your head out over the table to see if the score's right, because you can't read it. If we have a way to move it about yay far, and I think if we did that, you'd be able to see it, but then if you had one on the other end, you could also look down the other end and see that as well. And potentially, there is some talk, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but there's some talk of maybe moving the MAC tournament out of Bridgeport and going to conference school sites. Might be an opportunity if we move our system from here to there to be able to utilize and get in on that as well, be able to use both sites if needed.
So it's just opportunities for us to have two really great score clocks, and so I did send out some quotes, but I'd like to talk with Building and Grounds and just meet with that committee. We do have a meeting with our custodial staff tomorrow that I'd like to invite you guys to. I think it's Sam and Chad.
Did you join maybe?
What?
Buildings and grounds? I thought maybe Mitch joined us. We can figure that out.
Okay, so we're gonna try to set up something for tomorrow. Well, because we just have this meeting, it's like a standing meeting every Tuesday after the board meeting to go over stuff. So we wanted to just kind of walk you through the buildings and show you kind of the plans on that. So the quotes are attached so you know what we're looking at. I think the Daktronics system is the one that we're kind of leaning towards just because of, yeah, it's just a good system. We've seen it a lot in almost every gym that we've been in has been the Daktronics system. There's Nevco as well. Nevco was a little, it was like 25 grand, but we want to make sure that we do it justice, but we also, want to come back with a suggestion that says, yeah, we've reached out to local businesses that might want to sponsor it. I know that our local bank definitely wants to take a look at it, so there's opportunities there to fund it, and that with and the floor sponsors should pretty much take care of the project and be a really good look for us. So that's the scoreboards for basketball and volleyball.
Yeah, I'd just like to take plenty of time to get possible sponsors.
Because I got a hold of my bank and they actually called me back today and they think they probably want to do something, but they want to see everything first, so.
Yeah, so
Crossroads, potentially, you may reach out to somebody else too,
Potentially schoolers.
potentially, so.
yeah, my whole goal is to not get into a reoccurring, like we're stuck on these for like 7 more years, but just like you just do it one time, it's good for 25 years of free ads on our scoreboard. I mean, Pepsi and Powerade, or Coke and Powerade have been getting free stuff. I don't even know if Powerade's a
They're not even
thing.
around
We
here.
don't sell Coke either. So.
Yeah, so I mean they got tons of free advertising from us. So that's just the approach there. So as we talk with the committee, so these quotes might not even be the quotes that we're going to be ending up with, but just so you guys have an idea of where that cost could be.
Give us a ballpark, and I reached out to about every scoreboard company I could think of, and that's why we had the 4 different ones.
But if we go in from Crouch Recreation, maybe Eric Crouch comes out.
That'd be alright.
That'd be cool.
Cool. Gurley side goalpost for football discussion, update on football field conditions as well.
Okay, so this is one that's kind of the big deal for us at Gurley. We said before we were going to take a year off of Gurley and try to fix the field, so we replanted all those different things. Mr. Hop came out and leveled the whole field, looked great, planted seeds, had pretty good moisture on it, grass starts to come up. Then we just have an ancient sprinkler system with holes all over it, so it's kind of like we need to do some work with our sprinkler system, because how they do it currently is they screw in all of the heads and then they move them, so it's kind of like a day job. We're trying to figure out a way to retrofit the system where you can just plug in new heads and just pop up on a timer. So we're going to be eliciting some quotes from sprinkler folks. They have been real hard to come by though. So if you have a sprinkler person that you know, my guy is not doing so hot health-wise, but I'll still ask him to help us with that. But we're needing some people to elicit some quotes for on that field.
We just had a former alumni who's creating his own sprinkler business in
Yeah.
Sydney.
Mason.
Mason
Yeah,
Reamers.
Mason
That would
Reamers.
be- That would be an awesome.
Oh, yeah, cool.
I've
That
got
name
his,
sounds very familiar.
I've got his contact information.
So, one of the issues I'm sure you guys are well aware of, but when we start playing games, there's holes where those sprinklers get fitted to. When we start playing games, we have to fill those holes in. So essentially, the field stops getting water because you can't dig it up, put them in, redo it. We would like to try to figure something out where it could be a permanent thing and we wouldn't have to mess with that and keep that looking nice so we could play the junior high games down there.
Yes, the goal on this is to just be, we want to return to playing football at Gurley. You know, just, I put goalposts up there, but that's just like one of the ideas. Just refurbishing them or painting them or something like that might be a really good option for us too. But the building and grounds crew, the goal is to go through, update the whole board on what the real conditions are in the field, because it's an issue. But as part of that, we also want to have a comprehensive maintenance set up for the whole district too. So it's like the Dalton field doesn't just get all the love. We're doing the same thing for 3 fields. So we think we have a good strategy in place that will preserve that. I mean, I know the kids, they liked playing at Dalton. The kids liked playing at Dalton.
Could have told you that was gonna happen.
Yeah, but it's pasture ball's cool.
It's cool for.
It's cool for
early
us.
people.
Yeah.
It means a lot.
It does. It means a lot for our community.
Well,
So-
I think it's nice for those other elementary kids to get to go out there.
Yeah.
And watch.
Yeah.
That's basically the main,
I mean,
yeah.
you're not gonna bus them all up here.
A lot of the kids that are having success in the junior high for sports looked up to kids because they got a chance to see them play. And that's my boy in high school, so it's just a good thing for them. And okay, so there's that. That's the football field and those things.
Cool, thank you, Matt. Maintenance equipment purchase, discuss a bagging mower purchase.
So just rolling back around to this, do we want to elicit new quotes for machines? We had some talks about kind of what our request was before. We could reach out to the same 2 and then just need a little bit of guidance for a purchase next month.
So, we have a new maintenance guy, a new groundskeeper. I'd just like to hear his thoughts. Like, I know the old groundskeeper really wanted mowers at each side. I just want to know if Bruce feels the same way. Is that, I mean, have you talked to him at all?
Our main, yeah, about that specifically, no. I think it'd be definitely a big bonus for him not having to haul
I just
each
want,
way.
like, Bruce is different, he's different than our old guy.
Right.
I just want to know if he thinks we have to have one, or he doesn't mind hauling one to.
Sure.
Is that something we can discuss at buildings and ground meeting tomorrow?
Yep, sure thing.
And before we forget that, what's the time on
We usually go at 9:30.
tomorrow morning?
Yeah.
Do you think any of those old quotes are still good?
I wouldn't imagine they'll be like, they're gonna,
To the penny.
yeah, they'll probably be easy enough to re-elicit though. I have their contact information, so.
Well, I think we should get new bids or new possibilities.
And I'm just gonna stick with the same 2 if you guys don't mind on that, because they both had the same source well pricing-ish and that. And then afterwards, the city of Sydney ended up buying one, and it was a source well thing too, so that's kind of a cool coinky dink.
There's an alumni who works or sells lawnmowers back by Kearney. He probably love this.
Tommy probably knows, right?
What's the guy's name?
Tommy Twite.
Okay.
It's good news.
What-
Do you know where he
Who's
works
been
at?
price before? It was the
Walker
grasshopper
and the
and the
deer.
walker.
Walker.
I thought we had 3 of them, didn't we?
Bad boy.
Grass,
I don't think the bad boy had a bagging system.
it's the Walker, the Grasshopper, and the John Deere, I believe.
Yeah, John Deere was a quote for
Retro.
retrofitting the current one to a bagger, which was a little bit more than I thought it was. If you find out where he works, would you let me know? And then
Oh, yeah, I can fix it.
Oh, yeah, perfect. All right,
You good on that one, Matt?
yep.
Okay, high school gym floor discussion about top coating versus going down to the boards and repainting. Floor sponsors will also be discussed.
Okay, so, the guy came in, looked at the floor, and was like, hey, we can just keep on going with top coating. You can just keep on going. And I was like, great, because, you know, that's wonderful. Because it's an easy project, we've seen it done 6 or 7 times now, 3 times in 1 year. We've seen it done. We know we're gonna get a top coat out of it, it's great. What we're concerned about is the floor sponsors on the bottom, because they're adhered with like they're just giant stickers. So if we were to remove those, we just basically start over with the project. So you go down to the wood, sand it down, and then probably repaint, and then top coat. So it's probably gonna be a double the cost. Or do we continue to top coat and just live without
How many
those?
more years can we top coat without?
According to him, it looks like we're in a really good spot, top coat.
Usually, you can go like 15.
Yeah,
Yeah.
12 to 15 depending on.
At least when I was 80, that's what
Yeah.
we tell me, about 15 years.
Because you can go as long as, you know, if your lines start to fade or your paint starts to fade underneath, then sometimes the boards will start to yellow depending on the product they're using, but
You know, I
our
remember we're at
floor's in
Mac,
pretty good shape, so.
we're at Mac with Bridgeport, and their old gym is pretty faded. But I mean, it's still going. So at that point, maybe we look at something, but the whole thing is the floor sponsorships. And if you're okay with continuing with the floor sponsorships down, or starting all over.
Can we discuss, or is this supposed
Yeah.
to?
Yeah, we can definitely.
I have no
discuss it.
problem with on there. I think it'd be crazy to spend more money on the floor, but
Give them a little free more extra time, right?
they all wrote their checks on time, they're all part of our community. I have no problem with it personally.
Good with me. Do
We
the,
don't need to spend money on
Do the
things
cheap
like
thing.
that.
yeah.
Okay, well, that gives me the guidance that I needed. I just wanted to make sure that we were on the same page, because I'd hate for them to say like, well, it's a hard 10 years, now we have to do something different if we really want to go. Okay, there we go.
Thank you. Elementary staffing discussion, elementary staffing discussion, adding an instructional coach position.
Okay, so this is gonna look weird, because it looks like I put a couple of draft calendars on the wrong agenda item, which I apologize for. You know, that's weird. But Megan and Charles are both here tonight, which is, I didn't ask you to do this, Megan, but if you guys could kind of go over literacy stuff, and you can go from there.
Megan can chime in when she needs to. So, one of the first meetings we attended coming back out of Christmas was an NDE talking about the early literacy project. And so their goal is by the year 2030 that 75% of all third graders will be proficient in reading. They're currently somewhere in the low 60s right now statewide. There's a few caveats to that, like the kids special ed or something like that, then they wouldn't have to meet that requirement. But the other part of that is they're saying that any of our staff, our certified teachers, that are in contact with any kids from 4 years old to third grade need to be trained in some form of literacy training. So we have got that ball rolling a little bit to, and at first we kind of freaked out because they were talking like every person. So art teacher, PE teacher, music teacher, SPED, Paris, the whole, I think we counted up 18 people that would possibly fit that bill. We've since got a little more guidance that said just pump the brakes a little bit and do your main core people. So it'd be our pre-K, K, 1, 2, 3, SPED, literacy, whatever.
The other part of that is what they call an IPG, it's an instructional practice guide. Okay, those are by a person that goes in and does a 20-minute observation of the teaching, has a rubric, and it's for every grade, K-12, pre-K-12, and all the subjects, the English, math, social studies, science. They would go in and go off this rubric and then have discussions with the teacher. The other part they say is that it cannot be an administrator because that would blur the line between formal observation, and that's one of the things they said. I'm like, well, I'm sitting in this meeting, and if you're telling me I can't do it. I was trying to be supportive and try to help people out. So, looking at what we have right now currently in the elementary, Megan takes care of all of our individual reading plans, which is from another bill from a few years ago, that any kid that doesn't score at a certain level on the cadence testing, they get put onto an individualized reading plan. She right now takes care of all of those and implements the interventions for all of those. These IPGs are on top of those IRPs. And so now we have a whole nother set of things to go through. Our feeling is it would be very difficult for one person to do all of that. So by 2028, by June, July, summer of 28, we have to have our people trained in that literacy. And we've chosen the early literacy project from UNO. It's free for us to send our people, to have our people go through. They will pay a stipend or give the people 3 graduate credit hours towards that. It's a 45-hour course that they would take. 15 hours of that would be outside of their contracted time. So we would have to pay a little bit of time for our teachers to get trained, because 15 hours are required face-to-face with the instructors. The other parts they can do on their time are like, some of the projects involve students, so they would actually do it within their classrooms. Yeah, there's just a lot. When we had that first initial meeting, I looked at Megan and said, well, I'm going to spend 6 hours a day teaching reading, an hour and a half teaching math, and maybe get to the rest of it the way they were making it sound. And I know some of you guys are aware there is a bill out there that they're floating around. I don't know where the status of that is right now, but they're saying if a kid doesn't meet that requirement by the end of 3rd grade, they stay in 3rd grade. They would be retained for a year and not move forward if they did not hit that 75%. If they were not proficient, if they were not proficient in reading, they would stay. Right now, currently, if we recommend retention, the parents have the right to refuse. This would take that away and say if your kid is not proficient on the state test, they have to stay in 3rd grade, 1st grade.
Do you have a pamphlet on all that you could send to us too, that we can read through a look, or like a guide of what they're expecting, and here's just,
We do kind of have.
Yeah, I can go through it.
Yeah.
Just have
if you could just
to-
something.
It's a lot, but yeah.
Yeah,
Thank you.
there's a lot to it. And so that, like we said, ESU working through ESU 13. Again, they have 21 schools, so there's a literacy coach for ESU 13, but they're covering from Campbell to Chadron to Valentine to Chapel and everything in between.
No reimbursement from the state.
Yeah, another mandate.
Yeah.
Unfunded mandate.
Yep. You know, initially we had talked about, we wanted our teachers to go through the training. We talked to ESU, they want us to go in with other people and have at least 20 people in that project. that kind of defeats the purpose of keeping our people together. We were trying to work it out where we could say like, okay, we're gonna meet this day after school from 3:30 to 6:30, once a month, to get the 15-hour requirement in. But back to the project, if having that extra position would be able to expand our title offerings that we do, because right now, the only, correct me if I'm wrong, Megan, the only title services we're really getting right now is reading,
Correct.
okay? And we'd like to be able to push in and do reading, math, do more subjects over more grades, to be able to push in and help those kids that are struggling a little bit with that. And use this instructional literacy coach to be able to go in and focus just on the reading part and help those younger kids and even expand into upper grades. We've offered the training to our 4th and 5th and 6th grade teachers as well. With this training, they'll actually embed it within our current curriculum and be able to line it up and use those practices within our curriculum. They swear that doing this will improve, you'll see improvements dramatically over the first semester, is what we were told in that first initial meeting. We don't know because we haven't been through the training yet to see what it's like. So we were planning on trying to get our teachers trained in the fall. I'm not sure what that's gonna look like just yet, but that's kind of where we're leaning towards with that. And like I said, I know it's adding a position. Like I said, I think it would be a struggle if we tried to put that on one person to try to do all of it.
How many schools do you think will use the ESU? Because I'd imagine the Scottsbluff, Alliance, Gearing, Sydney, Shannon, they're gonna get their own. Maybe
Yes and
tell me if I'm
no.
dumb.
So currently, there was a grant that was out to start this. And it had went to the much bigger districts like Scottsbluff, Gearing. Essentially, we were told unless we combined with a bunch of the other schools, it's called like the CLD grant. Don't quote me word for word on that. That the only way we would be able to apply for it and get it is if we would have combined with other schools, which is why we didn't. So they were the first ones who went through this training, the early literacy training or the words training. So I'm assuming Scottsbluff and the bigger schools will eventually have their own literacy coach in district. But like the words training that they are going through is a 2-year training, which is why we chose to go with the UNL literacy one, because it's a semester long. So I don't foresee them getting a literacy coach for at least a couple of years.
So do you expect them to use ESU? The same services that we would be using?
Yes.
Yeah.
Initially.
And I mean, and like Charles had said, it's in reading, math, science, and social studies, those IPG models in 15 to 20 minutes that need to happen. So you can imagine how ESU is going to do it with one person with several districts, especially when you look at like Scottsbluff or Gearing that have more than one building to go to.
Because even some of those requirements that whoever that person would be would have to come to the high school and do some of those IPGs up here as well. Not just be focused on the elementary.
Do we know what cost, if we use the ESU, what that would add on to our?
No,
Haven't heard.
I mean, Janelle, in the breakdown, it would probably just be a consortium cost of some sort, like when, like we sign up for the behavior school or the vault program. So it'd just be an added service that they'd provide our special education director. So, yeah, there'd probably be some kind of pricing thing there. And I would imagine, from an ESU standpoint, they would probably be more so, like, still outsourcing it somehow.
Yeah,
I don't know how they would do it
We haven't heard a lot from them. They're still trying,
They just hired their literacy coach this past summer, so she's been quite busy.
Trying to get things figured out.
Yeah.
So the position you're talking about creating is literacy coach, but are you giving that, you'd want to give that to Megan as well? And then have Becky do title?
correct. That's kind of where we're leaning right now.
And then back to
Yes.
this question. So it'd be a third grade position.
So that's what we're
Yeah,
hiring, is another third grade teacher,
Yeah.
or would be.
essentially. Unless there was somebody that wanted to move within the, usually when we have an opening, you throw it out to your staff first and say, is anybody wanting to smooth grades, but
Megan, how do you feel about, could you do it? Okay.
With continuing doing everything I'm doing
No,
now.
with the literacy coach.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I've never been a literacy coach or an instructional coach, so it would be something new. I do know that if I were to add on to everything I was doing now, because I also am the curriculum director, so looking through all of that, and kind of the backup person if Matt and Charles are in between buildings, it's just, adding that on is kind of a lot
Yeah.
to the plate. I would almost have to push like my curriculum director position to just during the summer. I tend to do that stuff on Fridays. So it would just be a larger workload.
I understand.
Is the literacy coach, is that something that could be split between multiple people, or does it have to be just one person?
So that one person is the one who does your IPG observations that they go into the classroom. I'm sure you could pull another person into it, but if we were to pull a classroom teacher, then you're gonna have to find coverage in their classroom in order to do that. Essentially, you're supposed to take the results from your IPG models, and they look at, we have high quality curriculum here, which is wonderful. So it's supposed to take that, look at that curriculum, is it meeting the needs and the standards of our students? Is there a lower spot in some of our like lower elementary grade levels that our teachers need to zone in more? You find the professional development and help them in that aspect of it.
Then you'd be giving up title. And would we be expanding that program? Is that what I'm understanding? Like
So-
to more than just,
Title I, before your IRPs came into play, and Becky, you've done Title I before, so you can help add into this because that was before I had come into Title I. It was pushing into the classrooms and kind of helping your students who were struggling just a little bit and needed that extra push. When these IRPs came along, it took the students who were below level or well below level, and you pull them from the classroom and you write a plan, a reading plan for them. At the beginning of the year, your numbers are typically higher, especially in kindergarten coming in, obviously. But then the goal is throughout the year, you lose a few kids. Within the past year or so, I've had a larger number than usual. So then being able to push in to the classrooms is very difficult for me, just because I have such a large number of kids. And if I have a lot of kids in one classroom, your interventions need to be between 1 and 3 students. Some classrooms I see 7 kids. I can't do them all at the same time, where it's not really individualized at all. That has pulled me from being able to go into the 4th, 5th, and 6th grade classrooms to be able to help with students who need some more support in math, or the older grades who might need a little bit support in reading, which is what Title I used to be before
Used to be
these
school-wide,
IRPs came
and
into
then the
play.
IRPs significantly cut it down to K-3 reading. To focus on getting those students to meet their plans.
And that's the tricky part, because with those IRPs, you do not want to pull during their core time, by all means. So with how we have everyone's schedules, that pretty much puts me of pulling all of my IRPs in the afternoon. So I get to pull them for about a half an hour after lunch, and then we start specials. I can't pull them from specials. So from specials till the end of the day is when I push through anywhere between 7 to 18 kids at the beginning of the year during that small time.
So as a literacy coach, you'd be doing the IPGs,
In the morning.
and would you still be doing the IRPs, or would that be Title I?
So we had discussed that. I knew this was gonna come up. I personally don't wanna let go of the IRPs because I love working with students. And I feel like if I am completely removed from that, then I'm not.
But is that technically a Title I job?
No.
No? I'm just trying to get how much.
Right, and
I'm trying
Charles
to-
and I had
Yeah.
talked where potentially I could still do them. And if it got to the point where I had a much larger number, or I needed support with someone else coming in and helping with some of the other interventions.
I'm trying to wrap my head around what kind of percentage of your day do you spend on Title I duties? Because I know you have curriculum, and you're kind of the you're admin when there's nobody else there. So I'm trying to,
It's
can you give me a guess, what kind of percentage of your day you spend on Title I duties?
Not including IRPs.
Well, I don't know if you're.
IRPs are
I don't know
all-
if they're gonna be Becky's new job, or if that's, like.
Right.
But the way we're kind of looking at it with this title is, right now, we're servicing a small group of kids through title. If we could make this work, then we could expand the title responsibilities to more than just the small group, that it could go literally almost K-8. And be able to push in as needed is kind of what I would envision, and if I'm off, just hit me with a chair, but that was kind of my looking at that, as we could really expand our title.
So you can help your kids like
Yep.
in math
Exactly,
and reading and stuff,
yeah.
even up to 8th grade.
Yeah.
Can it be any subject? I mean,
Can they receive help in any subject?
Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's not just for our
Primary ones
students,
are gonna be reading and math.
right? And it's not just for our students that are struggling, it could be also for our students who are in the higher end of things. It's been a few years since I think it was in your class that I had them maybe, where they were on the higher end of it, and so they just needed out of the classroom to be challenged on the higher end of it.
For the gifted students.
Yeah.
That's what it used to be called.
Yeah. And the other thing is with Matt mentioned it earlier with the IXL, the teachers are really utilizing that, so when they take their MAP test, so like when they took the winter one, they were significantly higher than the fall. You plug those numbers in and it raises their track and keeps moving them this way, and so.
So the challenge is.
Yeah, so we've actually had some students complaining that, well, this is hard. Yeah, it's supposed to be, because you've grown, so now it's gonna push you even higher, and I know down there, they're utilizing it K-8 with the IXL, and I know that Ms. Hanks for sure is using it here for ACT prep, and I think Mr. Henderson's been using it as well. So that part of it's been beneficial, but I'm kind of getting off track there.
So lots to consider, but we wanted to open the door just to put that out there early on, so that we can think about this more questions and things as they come up. With a hopeful recommendation from the board coming up in the next month or two, to kind of get something prepared for moving forward with that, as far as elementary staffing and the literacy coach goes.
This is starting 26, 27.
Yeah, it'll be next year.
Ideally, we would like that, yeah.
Can,
It's a huge budget.
especially when you look at all this stuff that Dave just brought us. I mean, if we're at it.
We have to be really careful.
Can you guys put something together for us to read, please? And then you may not get anything from ESU, but can you be like, hey, if we do use you, what's our cost gonna be? Just whether they give us an answer, or
So-
just so we have an idea, something to look
We
at.
can reach
And
out.
then, so, my last question, they say you'll see the difference first semester. Do we have a way to track that? So you can come back to us in a semester and say, yeah, it really did.
Well, there's
I
a
mean-
presentation that has to be done by your literacy coach at the end of it.
Okay, I want us, if we create a new position so this, we can have this and have this, we want to see that it's working.
Absolutely.
What does IPG stand for? What is acronyms? I don't know.
Instructional practice guide.
Practice guide.
It's so acronym.
And I can send you a
Yeah.
packet for that too. It's quite lengthy, but,
Do they have it back?
oh yeah. From the trainings I went to, yeah, absolutely.
I'd take anything you
And
have.
the IRPs are the individualized reading plans. And so about 5-6 years ago, they passed a law, a bill that all kids that couldn't meet this requirement had to have an individualized reading plan.
Which was an unfunded mandate, but just good for people.
Well, I mean, it sounds great.
Yeah.
I mean, they hate us, they wanna cut our money, but you better create this position and spend a bunch of money doing it, like, it's just.
Yeah.
And possibilities for improved instruction are always something that I look at as a big time benefit. Instead of, being a great school, how do we move to excellent? And those are just things that I think about a lot, is just like recruiting kids to our district and saying like, yeah, we're a great school. That's so Sydney. So how can we be excellent? Because, Potter's great too. They don't do it in Pete's, so we'll just say that they're average.
While there still is special ed funding, is there any way to classify any of this as special ed?
That'd be a stretch, just because of you'd have to, that might have to be some questions.
Right. That's a fine line.
Yeah.
I'm assuming it would be a fine line because with the individual reading plans, if a student who is on an IEP for special ed qualifies, and what I am trying to do is meet some of their literacy goals, I cannot work with them because their IEP trumps the IRP. So there's a pretty fine line. Now, if a student is in there for speech, that's a little bit different. But if they have IEP goals that are for reading and literacy, I can't, because those are met with their special ed teacher.
Well, thank you
Now
guys.
it's a lot to digest, but it's a lot for us to digest too.
And I mean, you guys covered it in 20 minutes, which we've sent them to probably 3 day-long meetings on these things. So there's a lot coming down with this, and when the governor says that we want to have 75% of our kids, 80% of our kids reading by 3rd grade, that's a great goal. It's very ambitious. It just depends on the group of 8th graders that you're talking about. Like last year's seniors in high school were kind of every single one of them. There might have been 2 that struggled with reading, but we felt very confident sending them out into the world.
But in a small school like ours, 1 or 2 kids makes the difference between
Excuse the
50% and
results.
80%. It's just-
Yeah.
2 kids and 3,
Exactly.
you're 100%, 70%, you're not even.
Yeah, you got 3 kids with severe disabilities or just reading difficulties. Could put you below. It doesn't mean that you're not going to grow up to be something amazing. It's just, how they rate the school, which is good, bad, and ugly all at the same time.
Anything else on that?
No, it's just a
Thank you for
first
your
of many
Thank you for your
conversations.
time and your
Thank you.
comments.
All right.
We will move on to school calendar discussion for approval in March.
Yeah, so we just had 2 draft calendars. I just wanted to get these out there so you guys can say, hey, yeah, we see a couple of draft calendars. good things and bad things about both of them. But what we're really waiting for on here to make anything official and to be like, this is what we want you to vote on, we're gonna wait until February 11th, when when Mr. Jones and Mr. Gamble go and talk through football scheduling, because that will have a lot to do with different times, and we don't want to run the school based on the football schedule, but at the same time,
If we have to play a 1 o'clock game, I wanna put a 1 o'clock out on the calendar.
just people need to be ready for it.
We don't wanna try to run school and a football game at the same time, and we tried that once this year, it didn't work out very well.
You know, and canceling school on a, even 6 weeks in advance sometimes screws up the nurses and people that go on a longer schedule. So we just want to make sure that we have that football schedule out there as best we can, as well as some basketball type stuff in there, so we can get kids, thought out. But these are two great schedules that Mr. Jones put together.
Really, basically the difference is starting and end dates. One starting a little bit later, having a short week, first week out, the second one is having a full week coming back.
Staff was kind of split
We're
up.
kind of split halfway. Some like getting out early, some didn't like the long, having a 5-day week, first week back. Sometimes it's better for parents or kids and teachers, to have that kind of short 2 days and then take a breath and then get back into it the next week.
So lots to consider with the school calendar. Those are just our drafts, so we wanted you guys to take a look at, give us some feedback, and then we'll be making a recommendation for one or two of them next meeting. We'll be glad to vote on those to
Just
get that out.
for clarity, fall sports start August 10th next year. That's the first day of fall practice.
Anything else on that?
No.
It's good, okay. Policy review, policies 5,000 through 5,017.
This was some boring reads. It just happened to be on the review cycle for that. Were there any questions about
Yes.
this?
Did you find something good again?
Word spelled wrong?
5,002, it says we charge tuition for out-of-state
Yeah.
kids that come in. Just give me an example, like if a kid was by Pete's and he really wanted to come to Leyton, we charge him 500.
Yeah, that'd be
Is
the.
that enough?
No, but I
Let's
mean,
charge him more.
you'd still probably get some sort of, there's probably a code.
But
for-
you would not get any option money from the state of Nebraska, correct?
I don't
On
believe so.
a Colorado
I don't
kid,
think so.
so we don't have to charge them.
Yeah, it said 500 per semester. It seems pretty cheap
So what's the benefit to us?
for accepting an out-of-state kid.
Yeah.
Maybe the kid's really, really good at quiz bowl. Or, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it just has never even
We
happened.
never had,
I can't imagine.
never had that
Doesn't
situation.
happen, because that's, he'd have to go through a
We'd
couple
have
of
to be a
districts to
little-
get here.
We have to be a little closer to the border, I think, to get.
That's my own question.
Now with Pete's, I think they strike the tuition component to it and just take the kids that come in.
They probably have a lot of Nebraska kids.
Yeah, they have way more Nebraska kids than
They get a ton of city kids.
That was just my curious
They
question.
can play baseball.
That's the two sports at one time is probably a big draw.
They can do both in the spring, they run track and athletic.
Which the Pete's kids love it. I mean, I watched them at the basketball game, they're like, it's awesome. Go run a couple track stuff and then go play baseball for
Get
2
out of
hours.
school more.
Yeah. Other than that, a lot of stuff on here that just gives you good information about what Mr. Jones does as far as attendance, as far as if we have a student that's pregnant, expelled kids and all those things, just a lot of basic things that just, I didn't see a lot of stuff in here that we needed, really pretty specific type stuff. However, on the eastern side of the state, part-time enrollment students are gonna kill some small communities. It's gonna happen. They're gonna just homeschool the rest of the day, have them go to music and art and play on the basketball team.
Do they get to pick what class they take in the school?
Yeah.
There's no way we can put a restriction on that, like, no, you will sit in
They just
Mr.
have to take
Henderson's
one.
class.
You
sign his
have to take
class.
one, you have to take one
And
class.
there's being proposed now that they don't have to do it.
I've seen that bill.
I just have a problem.
It's a problem, and it's in eastern Nebraska for sure, and with the amount of homeschool kids that we have in this area, I'm surprised it's
But it's
not.
totally, you're right, to homeschool your kid, but
Yeah,
don't expect it.
We don't have, well, since I've been here, we haven't had
Other
anybody
parts.
inquire
In
on
fact,
this
go into this,
plan.
I know probably come for at least one class.
Yeah.
then the one class is generally to be something like a,
Well, like
A
it's usually
special.
art or music, because they
Yeah.
can't really get that on.
so yeah, just be aware of that, there's policies in place for when they can, how they can, and it's all very directed.
Okay, discussion on what to do with the vending machines in Gurley and Dalton.
Okay, this is kind of historical context, but we'll meet as a wellness committee to discuss this and give you guys a recommendation. I just want you guys to be aware that we do have 2 vending machines in one building, so there's one in the Gurley site, one in the Dalton site. When Crystal was working here, she did a great job of making sure they're stocked with the things that fit the snack guides and all those different things, but when she no longer worked here, it kind of fell back onto the kitchen staff, and they couldn't make it as profitable as before, for one reason or another. I'd heard a lot of expiring food stuff and stuff like that for complaints against the vending machines. Personally, I'm a different type of person when it comes to cash in school. Like, I just don't think that kids should ever have cash in school because it makes my job hard. It just makes my life harder when kids have cash. Is it the same with you?
Well, and then yeah, we just had a lot of kids not eating breakfast and going to the vending machine and stuff in the mornings.
And I think up here with the open campus, and they stopped using the vending machines too.
Not since we took away open
No,
campus. But, so the wellness committee's gonna come up with that, whether we do one last ditch effort at trying to make it profitable. It did do pretty good, I mean.
Yeah, the
when
first
we
year
had-
that Crystal did it, we were probably pulling $200 out of each building.
And I know,
Then COVID hit.
I know it was suggested, like, if we got kind of a list from Penny of like the accepted stuff and then sent out like the Google form and have the kids choose what they would buy. Cause I think a lot, when we kind of tried to revamp it, it was just wasn't what they were wanting to eat.
Right.
So then they're expiring, but if we can kind of get student input, then it's gonna be more of what they're gonna grab, at least for high school kids, you know?
I don't mind, but I just want the wellness committee to meet and just discuss what they wanna do. If we wanna sell them, I got a guy that wants to buy them, so it's no big deal, either way. I think they move pretty quickly. But like, I think, if we give it another last ditch effort, but I just want you guys to know that we own the black ones. They're not Pepsi machines, we own the black ones. So we're gonna either give it our all on this again, or we're gonna mention to sell them off. The startup cost on them was considerable, I think it was like $5,000 for both machines.
About 9,000.
Oh, sorry, $10,000 for both machines.
You don't like cash like up here, could you get this card scan ones?
Yeah, I think they're existing, so they probably just have to modify it or something like that. But it's just, like I said, like, it's mainly an elementary person's problem, but it just seems like cash always fails. Cash is king, it's awesome, but
Not for elementary.
because they steal from their parents
Not
most
for third
times.
graders.
Most times it comes from somewhere that it's not supposed to come from. Kids are good kids, but they will take $1 if there's something that they want. All right, here we go.
Okay, we'll move on to the regular agenda action items.
Thanks for keeping this on a go-to.
Trying to. Special recognition, I'd like to mention everybody, Mr. Jones, especially Macy, that's pretty awesome, for your state FFA degree.
That'll be if I count them right, that'd be the 10th one that we have for a state degree, so that's
That's pretty good.
pretty good. And we'll have Natasha put it up on our wall, for all the kids that have made the state degree wall, so it's been pretty neat.
Jackson.
Anybody else got anything?
Need a motion?
Oh, yes, motion please.
I'll make a motion, we do that.
Sorry, Shannon. Is there a second? Second, Taylor?
By Mitch, okay.
Or Mitch? You guys are too quiet over here. Roll call, please.
Okay, Mr. Ernest,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Shoemaker.
Yes.
Mr. Wiedemann.
Yes.
Mr. Benish.
Yes.
Review, consider, take action regarding minutes of the January 12th, 2026 regular board meeting. Didn't see anything too crazy.
A motion to approve.
Is there a second?
Sure.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Shoemaker,
Yes.
Mr. Wiedemann,
Yes.
Mr. Benish,
Yes.
Mr. Ernest.
Yes.
Review, consider, take action regarding claims, warrants, and transfers.
I put 3 more bills on, but
Should have
I,
got an extra slip.
just some that came in over the
Well, looked pretty
weekend.
good. It was a pretty large bill from the lawyers this time, but I guess that's gonna be expected.
Anybody else got anything? Okay, we have a motion to accept the claims, warrants, and transfers as presented.
I'll make the motion.
Is there a second? I'll second it. Roll call, please.
Mr. Shoemaker,
Yes.
Mr. Wiedemann,
Yes.
Mr. Benish,
Yes.
Mr. Ernest,
Yes.
Mr. Jones.
Yes.
Review, consider, take action regarding the negotiated agreement for certified staff for the 26-27 school year.
Great work was made, lot of good quality meetings. I thought it was very cordial the entire
I
time.
very much appreciated working with the teachers, so. And I think we came to a fair agreement for everybody, so.
Some highlights from the negotiated agreement that I think are, there's probably days was one that was a big one. We'll drop from 183 to 181, so we're gonna lose goof off day, and
And last goof off.
yeah,
Check out there.
we're gonna lose tag on it, and then the first day of the year, so we'll just pull one from each side is kind of what our calendars had suggested on that. Changing the base salary up $600,
376.
and then
Extra duty.
extra duties.
A lot of work on the extra duty schedule. We were pretty far behind just max schools in general on everything, just about, so we're we're in a better spot now. We're still low on some, high on some, so I think we're in a nice spot. But it makes it more attractive for maybe some of the staff to take on an extra duty.
Yeah. Then there's, I guess, one of the things that we talked about as far as that extra duty schedule was, just make sure we're really honing in on extra duty logs to make sure that our, we put it out there. I mean, I think we made some really great gains for this. We just want to make sure that our extra duty logs are turned in where we're saying these are great paying positions, so we want to make sure we have people working their tails off for it. So, good stuff all together though, I thought. Jess, anything else to add to
Did they get
that?
them too?
I don't think so, I think y'all covered it well.
We started off good.
But we did.
What's that?
His extra duty log.
Okay.
I worked it to get them to her.
Those are just keys that we just, like, we want to justify everything, and that was part of the negotiated agreement. A big part of it was like, hey, if we're doing this, let's make sure we're seeing results from it.
It's in the hours you're in.
Yes. And then I think we'll have a better idea of which ones should be adjusted.
Yeah. Oh, and yeah, I think it's a 1 year deal, so
It's a 1 year.
we'll be back at the table next year.
Do we have a motion to accept the negotiated agreement for certified staff for the 26-27 school year? Moved by Mitch, is there a second?
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Wiedemann,
Yes.
Mr. Benish,
Yes.
Mr. Ernest,
Yes.
Mr. Jones,
Yes.
Mr. Shoemaker.
Yes. Okay, review, consider, take action regarding the contract of the principal for the 26-27 school year. I have a motion. I'd move to enter into executive session in order to protect the public interest for the prevention of needless injury to the reputation of an individual, and if such individual has not requested a public meeting. Oh wait, are we good? Okay. Sorry, I didn't read your full thing, Matt. The subject matter for entering into executive session tonight is a strategy session with respect to the compensation of the administrators of Leyton Public School. Do we have a motion to go into executive session? Well, a second.
Second, I'll second.
Sorry, second. Roll call, please.
Mr. Benish?
Yes.
Mr. Ernest?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Shoemaker?
Yes,
Mr. Wiedemann?
Yes.
7:20.
20?
Motion we come out of executive session at 7:58.
I'll second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Ernest?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Shoemaker?
Yes.
Mr. Wiedemann?
Yes.
Mr. Benish?
Yes. 1 second. Okay. Review, consider and take action regarding the contract of the principal for the 26-27 school year. How do we make that?
Just from the.
Just as discussed?
Yeah, just discuss.
Okay. I would make a motion that we take action.
Yeah, Joe, do we need the dollar value in there?
It says in the recommended one, it says you should.
Where's the rest? Oh, well, no, okay. Wait,
I just wrote that out,
We
so.
have some possible changes in
Yeah, so I think we probably just need to table it and
And then get the wording right.
then, yeah, get the word.
the, is that right? Everybody?
Just,
Present it next month.
yeah.
yeah, okay. Okay, I'll make a motion that we table the contract of the principal of the 26-27 school year until next year. Or, March meeting, sorry guys.
Okay.
Is there a second? Second. Second.
Mr. Jones?
Roll call, please.
Okay, Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Shoemaker?
Yes.
Mr. Wiedemann?
Yes.
Mr. Benish?
Yes.
Mr. Ernest?
Yes.
Okay, review.
On this next year, when we do the same contract stuff, we'll tighten it up a little bit more as far as, that goes through with less table things, because I hate the 8-1 stuff, so I apologize for that.
It's fine.
Review, consider take action regarding the superintendent contract for the 26-27 school year.
Table that one for you. I move we table it till next meeting.
Okay, is there a second?
Second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Shoemaker?
Yes.
Mr. Wiedemann?
Yes.
Mr. Benish?
Yes.
Mr. Ernest?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes. Okay, review, consider take action regarding hiring Miss Kylie Ramick as an elementary school special education teacher.
Being new to the board, Mitch just kind of asked me about some of how we do the hirings and things like that for the board. And one of the questions that he had was just, if there's an opportunity to share out resumes and those things further in advance, that'd be appreciated by all the board, which I completely agree with. We just, we had a really great candidate here, got her in for an interview on a pretty tight timeline. But yeah, moving forward with all hires, like, we don't mind sending out resumes and things like that for you guys. We just, ask that, ultimately we present it to the board for your guys' approval. So what we have for Kylie Ramick is, she's out of Bridgeport originally, Bridgeport graduate. So she's very familiar with the area, has been teaching at Alliance Public Schools in 2 different grade levels for special education. So she was at 5th grade this last year. I think she taught some 2nd grade and then maybe some 3rd grade stuff. So she comes to Leyton Public Schools with a lot of experience in special education. So her current role as a 5th grade special education instructor, she says she really wants to work with multiple grade levels. That's her true passion. So getting a little closer to the Bridgeport area is also really great. She might be living in Gurley actually, so if we get her in Gurley, the commute's going to be absolutely perfect. But yeah, it fills a need for us right now. Finding a special education teacher has been historically hard for us.
We've been through a few here.
Yeah, so we went through Riley, Julie. Riley was the first one, Riley again. Who was the other one? The Colorado. Yeah.
Just right.
But, I mean, we went through 4 and 4 years. And yeah, 4 and 4 years just kind of speaks to the difficulty it is to find special education. It's essentially one of the more difficult jobs in schools because you're dealing with a lot of legal paperwork. The district our size is also responsible for doing the targeted improvement plan, which is keeping your district out of hot water, which Linda and Julie have done a great job over the last year. But we recommend Kylie as a teacher for the district. She's got the skills and, you know, I think she'll be a perfect fit here.
Interviewed very well.
So how many years does she have experience?
This will be her, next year will be her 4th year.
So she's not all the way down, at least like we've had.
And she has ambitions to go forward. Yeah, she said part of our negotiated agreement, it's gonna be different. And it's hard to compare with a district that offers cash in lieu. And got it. And a 4-day work week. She was not really thrilled about the 4-day work week, which was interesting.
She didn't like it.
like the 4-day work?
I guess there's a kind of a sentiment out there that's not such a great fan of the 4-day work week. So just for your,
I've talked to other people about that actually, and that weren't huge fans of it.
yeah, it was definitely one of those pause moments where like,
Well, you kind of experienced
Depends
it,
on
right?
depends on where you're at,
Yeah.
So,
I would like to
Yes.
recommend her for hire for the board.
well, I would
Please.
make motion to hire Ms. Kylie Ramick as an elementary school special education teacher, starting with the 26-27 school year.
There a second?
One second.
Roll call, please.
Mr. Beeman?
Yes.
Mr.
Megan
Benish?
first.
Yes.
Mr. Ernest?
I'm gonna abstain.
Okay. And Mr. Jones?
Yes.
And Mr. Shoemaker?
Yes. Somebody doesn't know what
I just don't feel comfortable.
It's all right.
It's a big decision.
That's all right. Yeah. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
For years.
Anything else that you, no, because it's here. So,
We, just for informational items, it's not listed on the agenda, but we do need to come together with who's going to NERCS. We'd really like to have people go to the conference. Charles is gonna be going this year for sure, but board members, we'd like to encourage you guys to go to NERCS.
I plan on going.
When is it?
It is.
19th and 20th, isn't
19th.
it, of March?
I will not be here.
Let me look at the calendar now.
Yep.
I'd like to go.
March 1920.
It's in running. I'd like to go.
Every side.
March 19 and 20.
Food's great. Food's great. I'll
Not
vouch
missing
for
that.
that. Food's great.
Another one, I guess, for you two, under informational, I was approached by Hannah yesterday, and she was wondering if she can get like a preschool softball team together, if she could use our facilities over there. If she-
Preschool?
Like,
Like T-ball.
like T-ball,
Oh,
or she wants to get something going, so she was just wondering if our facilities would be okay.
Yeah, I don't wanna really do a bunch of dirt work over there right now.
It is as it is.
We'll talk.
It is as it
Okay,
is.
I just wanted to run that by you guys to
Yeah.
think about while we're here.
100%.
Anything else?
When's the next?
March 9th, I think.
Yeah.
Janelle, it has to be March 9th,
It
cannot
does.
be.
My knee's getting replaced on the 12th, so. Gotta have it on the 9th
Yeah, she's going in that same week for knee
for
replacement.
surgery.
March 9th it is.
And we've been keeping
That's
true
the
to the
Monday.
second Monday. It is tight some months as far as bills go,
I
but,
like it.
but we're good.
Sometimes
6
we have a
p.m.
few extra bills.
That's fine.
6 p.m., no changing. Okay, anything else? Anybody got anything to say? Okay. Meeting is adjourned.
It's
at-
been a meeting motion.
Oh, yeah, is there a motion to adjourn the meeting?
Almost.
Sure.
Mitch, is there a second?
I'll second.
Shad, roll call, please.
Mr. Benish?
Yes.
Mr. Ernest?
Yes.
Mr. Jones?
Yes.
Mr. Shoemaker?
Yes.
Mr. Beeman?
Yes.
8:07.
87? Okay.